Hello, I'm Robert Beach, Assistive Technology Specialist. Welcome to the Accessible Word Document series. This is Lesson 1 on links. But before we actually start working with links, let's do a quick review from our introduction of the 4 basic principles of WCAG and how that applies to links. So the 4 basic principles of WCAG. First of all, perceivable. The end user has to be able to perceive our links are there. This is generally not a problem. Operable. The end user has to be able to activate those links. Again, this is generally not a problem. Understandable. The end user has to understand what that link is going to do when you activate it. This is generally where we have some trouble with links being accessible. And lastly, robust. Links have to work with a wide range of technologies, including assistive technologies. Again, this is generally not a problem. So understandable is the basic principle that we have the most trouble with when it comes to links. Why is that? WCAG says that links need to be clear and understandable when taken out of context. In other words, when you remove the paragraph and all the text around that link, does it still make sense what that link is going to do? Therefore, links like click here, go, are not compliant because they are not clear. It's not easy to understand what's going to happen when you activate those links. I'm asked often, can you use URL? The URL, the http://www. is not always clear. Let's use a YouTube link, for example. www.youtube.com. That part's okay. You understand it's going to be a YouTube video, but then it will have like / then a random mix of characters and numbers to indicate what video is going to come up. That just simply tells the website what video to play, but it doesn't tell you what that video is going to be. Is it going to be a funny cat video, or is it going to be a video showing you how to create bullet lists in Microsoft Word? So you need to create a text link that goes to that URL rather than use a URL, because the URL isn't compliant, it's not clear what it will do. Having said that, there may be times when you do want to include a URL in your document. For example, if you are not sure how that document is going to be used, or if you think the end users are most likely going to be printing this document out, well, that linked text is not going to work when they try to double tap on that piece of paper. So they need to be able to see the URL to type it into a device manually in order to go there from that piece of paper. Now let's look at some link examples. Okay, first let's look at some bad link examples. These are 3 phrases with links that will do certain things, and I'm going to have my screen reader read to you what it sounds like.
Click here to access the online application for admission form.
Okay, so it reads the whole sentence that way, and that sounds fine. It makes sense what's going to happen when you click that link. However, when I use my links list option to bring up just a list of my links, it will take them out of context. And
Land out of
we
feed.
have then.
Links list dialog. Links list view. Click here. 1 of 3 to move the item.
First one says click here. That doesn't tell me a whole lot about what is going to happen when I click on that. The next link says go. So go doesn't tell me much about what's going to happen there either.
Application.
The last one says application. That's a little bit more clear because at least I do know it's going to be some sort of an application. I don't know application for what necessarily. So many of these 3 links is what we would call compliant. They just don't work.
Escape. Edit.
Now let's go look at some good links. Okay, here we have the same 3 statements with the links. However, this time we've included more text in the links to make the links more understandable. So again, if I use my links list option.
Links list dialog. Links list view. Click here to access the online application for admission form.
Click here to access the online application for admissions form. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to get to the application for admissions form that's online. If I go down 1, it's a little less text.
Go to the online application for admission.
Go to the online application for admission. That tells me exactly what this form is going to be, what's going to happen when I click this link. Last one.
Application for admission.
Little less text, but still clear. It's going to be an application for admission. So probably very still clear and understandable. So these links would be compliant. These would work for us. Just a matter of how much text do you want to include in your link text. Now I'm going to show you 2 methods for creating links in your document. Okay, the first method for inserting links into your document is through the ribbon. And this is the method I generally use if I'm going to have text separate that is linked rather than text within a paragraph. In other words, the text is not there yet. I have to create the text as well as the link. I'm going to have my screen reader read to you what this says here. The first is just a little title.
Online application information.
Online application information. Now I'm going to have it read the paragraph and listen to what it says.
To become a student at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, you will need to complete the online application for admission form. Submitting the application is free. Please click the link below to get started.
Okay, it says, please click the link below to get started, which means we're going to have a link after this paragraph.
Blank.
So right here, we need to insert a link. So to do this, we're going to go up to the insert menu.
Alt N. Upper ribbon, insert
And we're
tab.
going to go over to
Menu,
the
tables group,
links group.
illustration, add ins group, media group, on links group, hyperlink, button. To move
Says
through the
hyperlink.
controls on this ribbon, use tab or shift. Leaving menus, edit, insert hyperlink dialog, link to address : edit combo.
And the first thing it wants is the address. Now I went and copied the address from the web before I started this process. So I'm just simply going to paste in the address I want this to go to.
Address : edit combo or equals web under.
And you can't read it all, of course, because it doesn't show it all. And then I'm going to go over to the text to be displayed.
OK button. Cancel. Existing 5. Text to display : edit. Source equals web underline need.
And it includes the URL there unless you do something different. And this is where you want to make sure that your link is clear and understandable. So I'm going to Control A to select all that and get rid of it. And I'm going to type in
A P P P P A K C space A P P L I C A T I O N space F O R space A D M I S S I O N space F O R M.
Okay, so I just simply put in KCKCC application for admission form.
Existing. Cancel. OK button to activate. Press space. Edit. Blank. Link. KCKCC application for admission form.
So now if I use my links list feature.
Links list dialog. Links list view. KCKCC application for admission form 1 of 1. To move
It's
to
very clear what that link is all about. So that's the first method.
Escape. Edit.
Now let's go look at another method. Okay, this is the other method. This is the application menu method. This is what I generally use if I'm going to link text that is already there. Just makes it a little easier. So I'm going to have the screen reader read this paragraph to you.
To become a student at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, you will need to complete the online application for admission form. Submitting the application is free.
Notice it's a little bit different in a statement. It doesn't say to begin, click the link below. So this means I want to create the link within the text. So I'm going to go over and find the text that I want to create, that I want to make a link out of.
Become a at Kansas Community College, comma, you will need to complete the online application for admission form.
Okay, I'm going to select that text. Then I'm going to right click on it.
Applications menu cut to move through items. Press up new comment M. Hyperlink H.
And I'm going to select the option that says hyperlink.
Leaving menus. Insert hyperlink dialog. Link to address : edit combo.
And I simply just paste in my link again.
Address : edit combo or equal.
OK.
OK button to active. Edit.
Now that
To become a student at Kansas City
has been linked. So if I bring up my links list.
Links list dialog. Links list view. Online application for admission form 1 of 1. To move.
And it's very clear what that link is going to do. When you click on it, it's going to take you to an online application for admissions form. This is a quick way. You can actually use either links to do either process, to link text that is already there or to create a link with text that is not there. I just find this one easiest to use if my text is already there. It's a little quicker. The ribbon method is better if I don't already have text there. You could also just type in your text and then use this method to create a link that was not already there. So this is the basics of creating accessible links. If you have questions or need more information, feel free to contact me. My contact information is Robert Lee Beach, Assistive Technology Specialist. My email addresses are beach@kckcc.edu, and my phone number is 913-288-7671. Repeating that, my email addresses are beach@kckcc.edu, and my phone number is 913-288-7671. 7671. I hope to see you in lesson 2 on creating accessible lists. Have a great day.